Hey, this is Cynthia with CynthiaWrites.com, and I want to welcome you to my space. So whether you're viewing this video on my blog or on any of my social media platforms, welcome. So this specific video is really for those of you who may not necessarily be familiar with me. Again, I am Cynthia. I am the official cheerleader of this space, and I mentor Christian single women to create the life that they want and attract the man that they want in it. And so I really wanted to do this very focused video because there was a very special lady in our community, and she asked me one day, she said, Cynthia, why are you doing this? You know, why do you take the time to hang out with us and to, really pour into us when you're married? You know, you have this great husband and this great life. Is it just because you feel sorry for us, or what's the deal? You know, and I thought it was kind of funny when they said that. And I was like, well, you know what? And the thing is, this is somebody who's really connected with me. I love her to pieces. But just for those of you who know me or really don't know me, I really wanted to just put it out there one more time in just a very focused video. A lot of times when I'm teaching or I'm writing, on the blog, I'll kind of sprinkle my testimony in a little bit, but I just really wanted to make sure that we just, let's walk a straight line and talk about it, right? And so, no, I don't do this because I feel sorry for anybody or anything like that. I do it because I know what it's like. I've been on both sides of the fence. I was single before I was born again, and I struggled then. And once I became born again, I really struggled in the kingdom in the same areas when it came to men, love, and relationships. And so I want to kind of go back to the beginning, and then we'll, bring it to present. My mother, she married my father straight out of high school, and she was a virgin. And I believe that there are no problem marriages. The issue is you have two people who get married and they bring their problems to the marriage, right? And so my father was very broken because of some past issues. My mother was very broken because of some past issues she too had. And so they had a very problemsome marriage. My father was very abusive to my mother, both physically and verbally. And so because, and that coupled with, her other life events, my mother really had a very hard time in life, and especially when it came to men, love, and relationships. And I remember, and so, my mom, my dad, they divorced when I was quite young. And so my mother, she was a single parent, and she raised me and my older brother. And I very distinctly remember when I was like a freshman in high school, I was dating some guy, and for whatever reason we broke up. And I went home and I was crying, and I was telling my mom all about it, like, oh, he broke up with me. And so my mother gave me the very best advice that she had based off of her life experiences, right? And so this was her truth. And what she said to me was, she said, Cynthia, all men cheat. It's a fact of life. And to expect anything different, you're setting yourself up for disappointment. And even when she said that, and even though I was still quite young, and, I was still, I was being introduced into relationships and, all that kind of stuff, those were very hard sayings, a very hard saying for me to really swallow, because I was thinking, then what was the point? What is the point of, coming together with somebody, being your best, giving your all, giving your best, if you were not going to be that one and only? And so for years that bothered me, that she said that, because I trusted my mother. She was my truth. But it was like on the inside, I had this longing for something different. But here's the thing. Every relationship that I had thereafter, even until my early adulthood, validated what she said. I met men, they were not necessarily abusive or anything like that, but whoremongers. I was never the only one. It always started out great. And then at some point, another woman was introduced into the mix, and, then it's that breakup and makeup, and then breakup and makeup, and all the volatile and all the crying, and, just all that drama and all that stuff, right? And so because of what she said and because of what I experienced, it just became a faith or a truth in my heart. And so that became my outlook when it came to men, love, and relationships. So then I get born again and I come into the kingdom and I'm thinking, okay, finally, this is it. Things are going to be different. It's just going to be an overnight change for me. No, ma'am. I actually got into the kingdom, got into another relationship with a Christian, right? Who would lift up holy hands, who was sold out for Christ. And it turns out that he was the exact same type of man that I dated before I was born again. But this time he was very violent. He was very verbally abusive. He was very physically abusive. And I would give you that whole layout of, just that whole thing. But God delivered me from that relationship. And I just remember being just so broken. I mean, just after everything, my whole life experiences and, dealing with men and relationships and so desperately wanting to be married and wanting to have a relationship that was healthy and whole and and I was the only one, and it wasn't drama filled, and and that just was not a reality in my life. I mean, I had no examples around me that could even come close to the thing that I desired. But here's the thing, and this is what I discovered. The reason that not only I struggled, before I got saved, but especially once I became born again, was because I took that same mentality that I had in the world and I brought it into the kingdom. And I thought that, that it would be different just because I was in the kingdom. No, I had not renewed my mind. And not only did I not renew my mind to, what my mother said and my life experiences as it related to men, love, and relationships, because I didn't renew my mind, my behavior was not different. The way that I attracted men was the same. The way that I handled men and allowed them to handle me, even in the kingdom, it was the same. And so a lot of times, women struggle and they're frustrated and they're discouraged in their single walk because they feel like it's a never-ending story, right? And the reason that I really love the ministry that God has given me in Cynthia Wrights is because I want other women to know that it is so possible. Girl, listen, it is so possible to meet and marry a man that thinks the world of you, who truly is a man after God's own heart, who truly will love you the way that God has commanded him to love you. There is somebody looking for somebody just like you, but you have to know it, right? And so the reason why I do what I do, and listen, I mentor women online and offline, and I want women to know that it's very possible for you to have exactly what it is that you want in your life and your relationships, but there's some things that you have to do differently. And I know what's possible because why? I've mentored women and I've seen them go on and get married and have a whole and happy lives and different things like that. And I've done it. I am now happily married. Going on 13 years. It'll actually be, no, I think it'll be 14 years this November. And I met him in church and different things like that. And it was the person that I became that attracted him to me, right? It was the person that I became, not the person that I was, but the person that I became that was attractive to him. And so he wasn't the last one. I didn't take the last good man off the shelf. There are plenty. And even if you've never seen it, even if you haven't met him yet, I can promise you that he is out there. And I am willing to walk with anybody who's willing to put in the work, who wants to go on this journey, to have a whole life and meet someone who is bestly suited for you, because I know what's possible. Because like I said, this is one thing that I always say. There are no problem marriages. It's just that two people got married and they brought their problems to the marriage. So to answer the question, why is it that I do what I do? Because I get it. Because I have been there and done that. And I want to help you get on the other side and meet and marry the person, your life partner, okay? I don't want you to settle for being a girlfriend, the 7-year relationship that never ends in marriage. No, I want you to meet and marry the person that is bestly suited for you, that will be the greatest blessing of your life and will bring glory to God. Okay? So again, this is Cynthia with CynthiaWrites.com, and I just wanted to give you a very compact video of what my testimony is. So again, welcome to my space. So if you're on social media and you have an opportunity to really connect with me via subscribe and like, do that. If you are watching this video on my website, make sure you connect with me where you get notifications of any videos that I put out or any blog posts or anything like that. And if this video has blessed you, why don't you share it and invite all of the other ladies that you know who are single, who are Christian, who want to be married, and they're tired of trying to figure it out, and they really want some real answers to the real questions that they have. All right, then I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.